Okay, cool, the, working meeting's order. You're up first, Tina.
Oh, what am I up for?
The street concerns for the striping, and I had a question about that last email that you sent out about seeing what lane was that for stop signs, or was that for striping?
That was for both.
For both, okay.
For both. Well, that was left over, that Cindy wanted to know where to put the stop signs.
Okay, so that's what she asked me today. Okay.
That's for the stop signs only. The striping, the first guy disappeared, so I met with somebody else this week. She's giving me pricing for the striping, a little bit different than what we went over the first time. The first guy said that we needed to do double yellows approaching. She said that that's useless given the size of the road.
Mm-hmm.
She said forget about that. And she said you don't want to do a yellow stripe over on Van Brunt. She said you want to do a slow with the arrows. So she's giving me a slightly different quote. She's also giving me pricing on two kind of rumble strips and temporary bumpers similar to these that she said don't even bother now because of the plows, but in the spring this is something you can put in and out in the summer if the stop signs, you know, we'll see where we are with the.
So we're gonna have 4 stop signs at the corner of Washington and Stangwood, correct?
So we're gonna have,
We're adding 2 more.
each place that has a stop sign is going to have another stop sign on the other side. So
So
if
it's
there's a
only one?
stop sign here,
There is.
there's gonna be a stop sign here.
Okay.
So that when you look at it, you see stop signs on both sides. It's one's facing the wrong direction. They're both facing you. So, you follow? Or
No.
Okay.
So here's Singing Wood. Here's Washington. Okay. We already have a stop sign here, and we
Right.
have a stop sign here. Okay.
And a stop sign opposite.
And our
Over
stop
here?
sign,
Yeah, and a stop sign here.
right.
So now where are we adding them?
Okay, well, this one faces this way,
Mhm.
okay? This one faces this way, and this one faces this one faces this
Mhm.
way. So there's gonna be another one facing this way, another one facing this way, and another one facing this way. So
So-
it's 1, 2, and 3. So when you pull up, you're driving up Singing Wood, so you're
coming up Washington,
coming up Washington.
and there's a stop sign here and a stop sign here.
There's a stop sign in front of you, so you're driving, you're on the right side, and then now there's gonna be another one on the left side facing this car. This is me here, and I'm driving this way. Right now, there's only one. The idea is to put another one here,
Okay.
double facing, so that there's like, stop.
Alright, but what is that gonna look like? Should we see what it looks like when David puts it in? Make sure it doesn't look too obnoxious.
It's gonna look a little obnoxious, but I think that's the point.
Or should we see first if we do the striping and see if that improves it before we start putting up more signs? What do you think about that? Okay.
I think that might be good, or we can put one up. So we do
Just to
it-
see what it looks like?
Well, I'm thinking, let's do the striping and then let's maybe do one with the stop signs and one without, so
And
that
so-
we can kinda see if there's an improvement in one section versus the other.
Okay.
Um,
So why don't you email the quote to us when you get it?
I'm
If
gonna
it's
get it
between
next
now-
week.
Okay,
Yeah.
it'll be for the next meeting then, right? And then we
Definitely.
could see.
She's gonna, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, that other guy just never called me back. But this is Advanced Pavement Group, and I got the information from Belterre. I called around the smaller villages, residential concentration, to see who they used, and Belterre said that they just did a bunch of work for them and that they were very happy with them.
Okay.
So that's the roads.
Okay, newsletter?
Newsletter, well, I don't have a layout yet. I spoke to Chris about going over the content. I have some other stuff that relates to,
You wanna bring a sample next month?
yeah, I'm gonna I might actually circulate a sample next week,
Okay.
because I think we should have content by next month that we can approve and then get it going.
For January,
For
for
January,
January,
yeah.
okay.
So I'll probably circulate a PDF next week to everybody to just kind of look at, and a proposed content that I can go over with Chris.
Okay, perfect. You want to have anything, those two things?
I would just like to recommend that maybe any one of us or all of us might have a small article, something on, I don't know, we have a dock issue, we've had different things going on where we could shed some light on something. I don't have anything specific in mind, but,
I do.
okay, well, I mean, as a concept is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, in order to put the thing together rather than having you do all this writing.
Well, I wasn't gonna write anything, I was just gonna do the layout and then just put a bulleted list of an outline of things that I think, like Chris had said, the back should be numbers to call. The back should always be consistently
Right.
numbers, resources, etc. We talked in another meeting about doing a shout out to residents who do something special. We had said maybe doing something like that.
Mhm.
Then we had talked about things that we notice that are going on, like, for instance, like the driveways, that there's really new rules with the
Right, in
driveways.
fact, that was you and I talked about,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that I had in mind.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
we're putting things out as we do stuff,
Right,
that it should come out in a way that says, you know, we're doing all these things and everybody should know about this.
yeah, it should be
And
what's
it's
going on.
generally gonna be a positive thing.
What's the driveways?
The driveways is, a lot of people don't know this because it's a new, I guess, a new,
Stormwater regulation.
yeah, a new stormwater regulation that you have to have at the end of the driveway, you have to put a drain in.
You have to contain your water on.
If
You
it's
have to
only, if it's
contain it.
non-permeable, so that if you have a gravel driveway, it's gonna go straight down. But if you put in a blacktop driveway, you have to have that water go somewhere. And it can't go into the street.
So but people don't even know that, so they're ripping up their driveways thinking that they're just gonna have blacktop done, and then when they go to do it, they're like, oh wait, I have to now
Put a drain in.
add
It's just
the-
it's
happened
not a
couple
pleasant
of times.
surprise.
Yeah,
a
it's
black
an
and white.
unpleasant surprise that we should, that's the kind of stuff that we should alert people to in the newsletter. And then I think some fun community stuff, like I thought, you know, maybe we could do something about the dock and the usage, and that'll spark people even coming back with responses and talking to us about it. You know, like it kind of just, it's a way to engage the community, but it should definitely be informative. And I think the I think we should just see how it falls together the first run, and then
Right.
tighten it from there, get people's feedback.
Yeah, and I think January is a good time for, we should do something, because we're gonna write the new law for add the dock in there anyway, so.
Right, well,
So-
just don't be shy to say, especially at a meeting, about, can you do this or can you do that?
I'm gonna just put an outline of things that I suggest, and then let everybody put in their 2
Okay.
cents on what we should delete and keep or whatever, just.
Well, if it's an article, somebody has to sit down and write it.
But residents could have input, like if you wanna acknowledge people who have done something, you could say, please reach out to us if you know people, this way people aren't saying, oh.
Yeah, and Chris is good.
Chris
I
said,
think we'll have a good-
he was gonna, we
Help
were
on
gonna
it.
do it, it just
I
kinda.
think people are gonna like it.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Well,
think
you
people are gonna like
times,
it.
right?
Yeah,
That's gonna be its name. We're
Yeah.
resurrecting
Oh,
it,
yeah, okay,
yeah.
okay.
I used to do the Poquott signs.
You did?
We're gonna do it again.
Okay, good. All right, how about 25A, anything on that?
Yes, okay, so 25A, we got, letters were sent August and September to 13 homes. I got 3 responses. Most of them are in close proximity of the pond. I got a bunch of photos. I got 3 families communicated with me. I got past letters that were written to the Department of Transportation. I got a ton of photos. And photos. Yeah, I printed some of them, because I also was told that the Department of Transportation might be working on redoing the sidewalks going down into Port Jeff.
Who told you that?
There's an article here in Port Times Record. Port Jefferson and New York State Department of Transportation look for sidewalks uphill on West Broadway.
No, good.
So I wanna get in touch with them, but the first person I contacted Margaret Conklin, the one who wrote us the letter last February saying we're gonna do X, Y, and Z to the pond, and really none of it got done.
Right.
So I left a message with her, she's in Suffolk County, I'm gonna try to actually meet with her in person and have her, and now I didn't get 13 residents, I got 3, but I have the photos, some of the flooding there, I've got this article, so it's turning into 2 things, it's turning into the pond as well as the road, that's what, one kind of falls into the other.
I'll just tell you that that letter that went to Margaret, it went out every month for almost 6 months before we got
I
an
know, but I
answer, so
already-
you gotta kinda be like
No, I
on top
told
of it.
the secretary that I wanna meet with her in person, that
Okay.
nothing got done, and that I have her letter, it was in February, and I got her name, and I said, you know, if she can get back in touch with me in the next couple of days, and that was a couple of days ago, so next week I'm gonna call her and just I wanna meet with her in person.
Okay.
And I'm gonna formulate what all the residents said and see where we go from there.
Okay, we'll table out the next one too then.
Yeah.
Okay, the floating docks, if you guys don't know, they're already out. Ron, you'll be happy to hear, our budget of $2,500, it was only $900. So very happy about that. David will put up a gate this weekend and I hang a sign on the front of the gate that says that
Yeah,
they're
so we'll
removed.
post it.
Yeah.
The gate, is that something that's gonna open and close for
No,
people?
it's just, he's just putting it up for the winter.
So nobody can go walk on that pier during the winter?
Probably not, he'll probably,
You can walk on the pier, but you can't get off the other end.
No,
Well,
not if she puts a gate on
no, the
the
gate's
park
gonna
side.
probably be strapped on, like, so that
On
it
the
doesn't.
park side.
On the park side.
Because it'd be icy.
Why even take the chance?
No, you're right, but
Very
then people are
icy.
still gonna be able to get on it, it's gonna be before or after the steps?
Right, well,
the
where
end
the
of the
steps come up right there.
Okay.
Mhm. And then, you know what, whatever he builds or puts together, he can put down the basement and do it again next winter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
You know, there's not a lot of room down there. We have to start.
I think there is, I think we'd be cleaning it out.
Okay, but, I mean, for.
No, look, joke, that's not.
Well, it's always stuck in my, back of my mind about $1,600 roof for.
Is it in there?
It's nowhere. Harry has it. I mean, he kept it, and I never see it, and it's not anywhere, and it should be, I had said, we need to get that back and
Yeah.
put it into the, maybe the greenhouse, the shed in the greenhouse. And then Joe said, you haven't been in there, it's really packed, there's no room for it. So we really don't have a storage shed for things that are not like nice and clean, like downstairs we can put old files, stuff like that.
Right, but
We
there
have
is
an
a
old
section,
gate,
there's a
you
section
have
for
a-
paint and stuff like that, the stop signs and everything.
Okay, well,
And then the
there's
back room
room.
is empty,
In the short run,
where I had the shirts. That's empty. Now what's back there now? Christmas decorations.
7 bags of toys that are going to
yes,
Toys for Tots whenever they get
that's
here.
all of the stuff from Alex's
Did we
house.
call them?
You know?
No,
Yeah. Okay.
they come in here, the Marine Toys for Tots comes in with the boxes, which will sit up.
And there's an article for you.
But I called them last year, so I should call them again.
Mhm.
I also called, just as a side note, I also called Stony Brook, because I know Michelle's not, I don't know what she's doing, and she's in the middle of moving. or
Yeah, she's
whatever.
gonna be, she's leaving, I think she said, like, by December, like, 3rd.
All right, so I called Stony Brook and left a message for them that we might want to, Poquott might just want to adopt a family and to see, they're supposed to call me back. So,
Okay.
But I'll call Toys for Tots and tell them we,
If you need the number, I'll get in touch with you.
No, I have it.
Okay. But she usually calls them.
Is this stuff that could be thrown out, like? is-
Well,
I
all
don't
files,
want
which has been
all of
happening.
it doing
But,
that.
and
After
temporarily,
Christmas.
temporarily, I put all those toys down there, which takes up.
No, but they're gonna
one
go,
side.
but I mean,
Right.
if there's a cleanup, I don't mind
Well,
coming on a
it
Saturday.
it's nice and clean, I guess, I,
Okay.
you know.
So
But
you
it just raised the, we used to have the garage around back here.
But is
We
there
don't
stuff
know.
that we can throw out, I guess is what I'm
Well,
asking.
one thing you can't get is, you can't get that lower down the stairs.
there's-
or
I'm talking
down
about
inside, the outside stairs,
ground
or the inside
stuff.
stairs.
We have, seasonally, we take the beach chairs and stuff and we stick them in the greenhouse,
Right.
which is, you know, but as long as we keep finding space, we don't have to really address it.
Okay.
But I think that we, as a separate but related issue, we should get the leaf blower back. Because we never see it.
So it's the villages, but Harry borrowed it?
Harry's
No,
holding it. so
Harry
it's
was a
space.
trustee at the time,
Oh,
and he
because
said
he
we
didn't have a
absolutely
place
need
for
a
it.
$1,600
Okay.
leaf blower.
Okay.
And then he had it in his garage or something like that, and that was the end of it, we don't see it.
Well, no, David uses it, he
Yeah,
goes
but
and
it's
gets
not,
it.
it's being stored somewhere that is not, it's a village piece of property, we really don't have, control over it. It's just in somebody's garage, I mean, I guess, or shed, I don't know where it has
Well,
it.
David would know if he's the one using it, right? I mean, it's not lost.
No, it's not lost, he just
Yeah.
used it like 2
Just
weekends
using
ago
it.
to the parking lot.
Does he use it?
You feel it
Yeah,
should be
I
on the
never seen-
premises,
doesn't-
I mean, if they have a place for it.
I know,
And
right?
they're using
Well,
it.
nobody else cares, I don't,
Yeah, no, he runs it, he runs it.
You know what, it
now.
became a source of concern for me when Harry was talking about moving. That was the thing, it's like, well, what happens, where is this, and who's, let me, a story, so I didn't, without bringing that up, I
Right.
just thought that we should, since it's village property,
Commandeer our leaf blower.
take it, that's what happens in these divorces.
Yeah.
It's
I
not-
see, all right.
Yeah, but there's things like he power washed the thing and that's Harry's and he's using that and so, you
All
know.
right, if it's okay.
I think it's fine whenever I ask him to do something, he has it, so he knows where it is and gets it.
If the situation over there changes,
Changes,
I
okay.
just feel that we need to get the thing back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Good idea. Okay, the next thing is the air issue that we're having with the asphalt plant. So we foiled the records from the DEC, we got all of them, went through them. Rich wrote a letter saying that he wanted to comment on the permit. He made comments, the permit hasn't been issued for next year yet. So his comments are that they should only be operating during scheduled times, and he wants their stacks to be built higher. The higher that they go, the more the smell will dissipate. So that's where we're at with it right now. So he's asking that I write a letter next month, seeing if we could see the permit before it's actually issued to make sure that they took those comments.
Is that something that is part of the permit, that they say now you have to do this?
In order to get the
Is that
permit,
like-
they would have to do that. And they'll have all winter to do it before it's issued in the spring.
Where are they located, Dee?
They're on Comstock Road. So,
My unscientific observation is it's getting worse. I don't know if anybody else has said that.
well, we went there one night at like 10 o'clock at night and they were operating, they weren't supposed to be.
But even in the mornings, I don't recall always going out the front door, on my front door, and smelling it first thing in the morning. It's just, it's.
I think you probably are dealing with also the weather changes, because the
Yeah,
humidity
I don't know.
hangs lower.
Whatever it is, it just seems like, from the standpoint of the village residents saying, this is not what we moved to Poquott for, shore and clean air. And it just seems like it's worse. And I don't know whether or not we should.
Did anybody speak directly to them?
Yeah, we actually have a line to them and when we have it, we call them, we call the DEC, but nothing ever gets, it's just like, yep, okay, and then they just move past that. But now we know that their permit's being renewed, so this is a good time.
Good time.
Yeah, so. All right, so the final village audit with the changes from last month were emailed to everybody. Anyone have any questions about that? Okay, so I'm gonna send out, letter tomorrow with the savings that we had from last year. Okay. To everyone, let them know.
I like it.
To the residents? Okay.
And one of the resolutions we have tonight is to switch over that fund balance and all, so. Jacqueline, you sent us all a policy for social media?
Yeah, I did draft it back, I sent it yesterday.
Can I see? We can adopt this night.
Oh, I don't think.
No, we're
it's
just,
for
it was just to start looking at.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
came up with it.
Yeah, I think
I had some notes. Do we wanna actually jump in on this now, or? okay.
Sure, if you're ready.
So here, you go ahead, I'm gonna read it. I didn't, you know what, I saw all the emails, I didn't see the actual draft.
I just thought that we should, but this is just my opinion, it's not as if I feel that it's lacking. I just feel that we should have a discussion, multiple input, maybe resident input, as far as how we see the purpose of our, this is a closed group,
The
right?
forum?
Yeah.
It's a forum, so, you know, we can use it for a lot of things, including promoting the village. And it started out that way, and informally, I think somebody actually posted that, you know, we had the photo contest, and we have all these different things that are, it really, at the end of the day, it is part of a promotional, informal promotional campaign. We don't have anything that says, look, it's a business and we need to get our name out there and stuff like that, but when you have photo contests and you have people talking about all the, you know, the nice things that are going on in the village or something like that, it promotes the village. You know, I don't think it changes anything, it doesn't change your property values or anything, but it is just a nice thing that we all do. And it goes back, all the way back. So my thinking is we should formalize it. We should say that the, you know, the purpose is to kind of promote the village, because by extension, if we have people who are constantly ragging on that site, you may say, well, it's a free speech issue, and the three of us had talked about it at one point. And my position is that, no, they're free to say it anywhere they want on their own site, but since this is a closed group, and part of it is to promote the village, positive stuff. If we have some people who are complaining, or I mean, you can raise an issue that needs to be addressed, and that's great. I'm not happy with the way the signs look over here, or whatever. Sure, we'll do that. But we have people who sometimes it's even the way they say it, or whatever.
But who
We should have
determines what's,
I think
Well,
Well, that was the issue, that was what the discussion was. Who's gonna be the arbiter of that?
You're.
But I just think that if it's something that raises people's ire, then I'm thinking that, is that really the way it should be? If they want to come to a meeting and voice their displeasure, fine, that's what we're here for.
I think
But
you're
for
getting
something that's
very
promotional.
I think you're getting very
I
specific.
don't think Facebook cares.
Well, I just think that it's
Like,
not
in the
Facebook in
beginning,
general.
we kind of lay it out. You want to get information out of activities, respond to hot topics, emerging issues, encourage residents' participation, blah, blah, blah. But I got into details here about what you can't do. You know, you can't use profanity, you can't be threatening, you can't be slanderous. But as far as people complaining, I don't know.
There's a way to complain and there's a way
You can't.
That's
to
very
do it.
subjective.
Yeah, you can't, I don't think you can tell people. First of all, I don't think it is a promotion. I don't look at it personally as something that we have, that it's us. I feel like that's a resident thing, and it's its own kind of animal. When I go on there and I post about the photo contest, I'm going on there, yes, as a trustee, as a resident, to spark interest in that, but that's where the village is. I feel like as trustees, when we go and post information happening in the village now, or you have people who have clubs that go in there and say, our club's doing this, everyone's free to say what they want. I think it's when it starts to get, I think the cutoff is threatening and
Yeah,
profanity, and just, I think it should follow the
Abusive.
same protocols as Facebook follows,
Slanderous,
which isn't much. you know?
hateful, harassing, racist, sexist,
Suppose
obscene, violent.
we had a nice posting for a nice activity, we're going to have pumpkins growing.
Okay.
And somebody writes, that's such a waste, all they do is, you know, hardly anybody shows up and then they throw the pumpkins around and it's just very negative. And you might say, well, they have the right to say that.
They
Yeah.
do,
They
yeah.
have the right to say that on
Why?
Facebook. Do they have a right to say it on a closed group?
Yes.
Well,
But
do we
I see,
want
I
that?
don't
If it's a
mind
closed
that,
group, you can
because
say
it
no to
gives
no.
us the opportunity to respond and say, no, they don't get thrown around because it's a supervised event, and no, we did it last year, and a lot of people did participate, and I think it gives us an opportunity to go back,
I
not
agree.
nasty, but say, you're wrong.
And I think the people in the group are gonna jump on that person anyway.
Do you know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Now you don't like the ice cream
I
anymore?
mean,
pumpkins.
there was the whole thing about the ice cream man,
Maybe
but
they
there
came-
was people who gave both sides, and both sides were, I read it. I mean, some people got a little obnoxious, but generally, you saw two sides.
Mhm.
I didn't think that was so bad,
I didn't either.
you know?
Well, I did, that's not, I thought that was a good exchange.
And it
But you
doesn't
can't
age
control the
people.
exchange.
People like a little bit of back and forth, and
The Setauket
Okay.
moms and the Setauket dads, there's like a war going on between the two groups. I just found this out
Oh,
at Boy
really?
Scouts. Yeah, because the Setauket moms created this site, now the Setauket dads created this site, but they all go to they all meet at a bar, and then they bash the moms, and then the moms go in and send people spies. I mean, it's like crazy, like there's this war going on with the Setauket moms.
See, and we thought it was only
But
Poquott.
it's, you can't, I don't think you can control
Okay,
it.
all right.
I mean, I think that if there's somebody goes in there and starts cursing or saying, you know, the next person who walks across my yard, I'm gonna shoot them or something crazy,
Right.
then you have to police it. And I think that one thing the moderator can do that might be okay is if there is something that's really escalating, a moderator can freeze the posts. If it's starting to go down like a really bad way, can say, listen, this is starting to get a little bit obnoxious. A moderator can go in and say, you know, let's remember that we're all neighbors and friends, and kind of curb it, but I don't think you can.
Okay, I'd be
Control.
happy with that, but my suggestion would then be that we should, if we're gonna write all this stuff down, then that should be a part of what we're saying, how this thing's gonna operate. Where, you know, the moderator will do this and that, the moderator has the right to, you know, to make it specific.
I think it's hard. I think you're gonna have to feel it out.
I think you have to be very general. You're not allowed to use obscene language, you're not allowed to
Post
attack people,
nudity
you're not
or-
allowed to be discriminatory. I put in here, you know, like the whole list of what you would see in a standard policy. But to get really specific about people voicing they don't like this or they don't like that.
Oh, okay, how about capital letters?
I think it's only Harry.
Move.
Believe the leaf blower.
I'm gonna say nothing.
That's what
he said.
Sounds,
Move.
I didn't need to think on that way.
All right, well, everyone can make comments, and then how about we'll have this next month, and
Yeah.
if it's,
Or just-
if it's pretty fine, then we'll.
If you
we'll
just
push
send
it. If
me,
you have
why don't you
anything,
just
let
send
us
me the
know.
comments and I'll come up with a new one for next month,
Okay.
instead of waiting the month, that's
Okay.
fine.
But okay, I'll do that, because
Yeah.
I did have a couple of more.
Perfect.
And I'll, and
It was
I'll-
just the
I'll
first
find
draft,
it
so
and
I
read it.
welcome all the input.
Okay, Walnut Beach, I did not get in touch with Barry
Okay.
yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay, but, Chris, talked to DEC about the Pride 90s.
Yes.
So I had everyone saw that email?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to cut them in increments, is that what it is?
Oh, they can't hit over above 18 inches? Okay.
But then he also said, but you can also just kill it.
And we need a permit to do that, it looks like,
Mhm.
right? Okay, so why don't we have him find out exactly how much it will cost to do that, and then he'll be here next month, and we can fill us in.
I vaguely recollect that he said at that last meeting that there's two different types of Phragmites, and one is invasive and one
That's
isn't.
right.
So that's where that came in response to what you had said. In fact, you weren't at that meeting, so you didn't hear that. That apparently there's a good.
I went over it with the guy too,
Yeah,
that
so
there's two different
and there's a
kinds.
bad one. So that's how.
But they're both good for the natural drainage, so that's
Do we know
something.
which kind is down there?
There's two kinds.
Oh, they're both down
I
there?
think they're both
Okay.
down there, and the idea is to get rid of the one so that the other one can grow. I sent Chris an email today in response because that was something that we were talking about when we were saying to improve Walnut and look for a grant. He said the Phragmites are helpful.
Okay.
And now, I missed the last meeting, and now the Phragmites are being cut down, but Chris said it's two different kinds that he clarified, to get rid of the bad ones and allow the native ones to grow.
What
Okay.
makes the bad ones bad?
They're like, it's like a weed.
And
They
they're
take
not.
over, they
and-
take over.
Yeah, and they wind up choking out other things, whereas the native ones kind of grow, I guess, along with the.
But he was trying to make more room for that area, right?
For the racks, because they're going into the boat racks. It's like, it's starting to take over. We're gonna lose more beach, so.
Mhm.
Speaking of Walnut, I noticed that we have a gigantic new telephone pole at the, and,
We noticed that when we were down there looking at
yeah.
it. Mhm.
So now
But we
that
don't know
means-
what that, we don't know who put it there.
Well,
I think Verizon's putting in poles.
For the 5G, right?
It might be for 5G, but I think after the last storm, Verizon went around and replaced a lot of poles.
This is a brand new one. They literally
and it's
just.
a much bigger, more substantial pole.
Mhm.
So now they've done two from that intersection to the beach. Remember I pointed out the other ones
Mhm.
towards the end.
It wasn't PSE&G because they have the ones that have the little T on top, which is supposed to help with the storms.
I'm just wondering whether or not Verizon might be somebody that we could talk to about that pole at the end. Because if they're going in and doing that, I don't know whether or not they need to go that far back to the beach, whether or not. If it's just Verizon, then they say, look, we don't go to the beach and then start heading down like the electricity.
Mhm.
And they say, so it's irrelevant to us. But, we're getting nowhere fast with PSEG without that telephone pole. And maybe,
Well, we haven't
I
we haven't contacted them yet, so we're waiting to hear from the person that's the property
If
on
we
the
put the
corner.
pole on
Oh.
the property, yeah, so.
Okay, so you also had resident concerns, right?
I had a couple of things from leftover from the last meeting. This was one thing. This was the light. I had said that we were talking about lights for the staircase.
Mhm.
And I had said possibly buying them, trying one out, one or two. I don't know if we wanna look into this, but this is the light. So it wraps around. You put these are legs that wrap around, battery operated, motion sensor. I mean, we were talking about the stairs,
Mhm.
trying to light those up. Maybe one extra one here where it's dark, maybe, I don't know, but they're $24. Do we just try one and see how long? This is a good time to try it
Yeah.
because the weather's starting to get stupid, so
Yeah.
you could see.
I say yeah.
I
Yeah,
say-
one or two, and let's
so
see.
it's not
One or
solar.
two.
It's not solar.
No, it's not
That-
solar, it's motion sensor, battery operated, outdoor, and it just wraps, you put it in a position. And granted, somebody can go there and just take it, but I don't know who's gonna take this, who
Yeah,
cares?
I-
You know, I'm not worried about that.
You could just kind of put a little extra wire around it so that.
Yeah, I'll put a zip tie, that'll deter them.
That'll stop her.
So, should we
Yeah.
do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so two, and
I
we'll
would
try
always
them
say
on
get two,
two.
and let's see how much they
Yeah,
line
yeah.
up, let's see how they work in the bad weather.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another couple of quick things. This is just, I'm picking up where I left off, so, I did this page on the website,